Think of this video as like a ride at an amusement park that you're not entirely sure you want to be on, but just trust us that when you get off the ride, you'll be glad you rode it. This is how we installed a mural. It's a wallpaper mural. So what is a wallpaper mural? Well, it's wallpaper with no repeat. So each piece is specifically numbered 1 through however many pieces are required. And once you paste it all to the wall, it reveals a beautiful scene or a mural, as indicated by the title. So it applies the exact same way that most paste-to-wall wallpapers do. You simply apply your wallpaper adhesive to the wall, and then you carefully and painstakingly line up the seams. This wasn't an overlap, it's not a double cut, it was just a butt joint. Now, most murals are not designed to wrap around a room. Corners tend to be a problem when you're trying to keep a pattern going through a room. So don't expect the pattern to be continuous if your corners aren't straight and plumb. Just be prepared for that. But other than that, the process is exactly the same, and when it's all said and done, it's extra cool because it's not just one small pattern repeating many, many times. It's a whole image. It's a beautiful mural, different images throughout the entire room, which makes for quite an impactful room, especially when you do it in a powder room like this one. Now, how much time you want to spend cutting around things like escutcheon plates, that's up to you. But as you'll see, we went the extra mile in that department because we had one of these flush mount Invis-vents that we wallpapered. So we've done this a few times, but basically we wallpaper over the vent, then cut it out and painstakingly slice each louver or air vent out by hand, obviously. and then when it's all said and done, you have this sort of invisible wallpapered air vent that looks really, really cool, as you can see. But we find it's little details like this that can make your job look extra professional, or way better than if you just kind of cut corners and do things quickly. When it came time to paint the trim, we thought, let's make it interesting, and we'll choose one of the sort of teal colors from the wallpaper and do that. So we did, and we hated it. So then we painted it again, but in the darker blue color. And this made the room look a million times better. Sometimes you can get carried away, but all's well that ends well, and this looks way better than it did in the teal color. It was too much. Sometimes it's knowing where to rein it in, pull it back on the reins. But once we were happy with the color, it was time to add things like a toilet and a vanity and a mirror and all that fun stuff that makes the room come together. And as you can see, when it does all come together, it's pretty impactful. It's a really cool bathroom, we think. But it doesn't matter what we think. What do you think? You went on the ride with us? Check for all your belongings before you leave. Make sure your hats and your phones are still on your person. If you enjoyed this ride, feel free to try some of the other rides in our amusement park, like how to self-level, how to tile a floor. Actually, that takes place in the same room.